Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a question that seems, super simple on the surface, but has a really complex answer hidden right there, right beneath the pavement. So let's just dive right in. Who really owns the road in front of your house? You probably think the answer's obvious. It's got to be the town, or the city, maybe the state, right? But the reality, well, that's a fascinating journey through legal history, public rights, and a whole lot of paperwork. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to look past the physical road. The blacktop, the yellow lines, and dive into the legal framework that actually defines what a road even is. See, here's the first twist. When we're talking about the roads in your town, the law doesn't really like to use the word ownership. Instead, it's all about who holds the legal title or interest in that strip of land. It's a subtle difference for sure, but it is absolutely critical. Okay, so how can a town or a city hold a legal interest in a road anyway? Well, there are two main ways this happens, and this is where it starts to get really interesting. So on one hand, you have what's called a fee simple interest. That means the town owns the land completely. We're talking everything from the dirt below to the sky above. But on the other hand, you have an easement, which is totally different. That's just a right of way. And here is the big surprise. Most local roads in the US are actually public easements. Think about it, this system goes way back to when towns were first popping up. It was just way cheaper and a heck of a lot easier for a community to get permission to build a road across someone's farm than to buy the land outright. So what this means is that strip of land in front of your house, it might still technically belong to you, but the public has a permanent legal right to travel right over it. Okay, so if the town doesn't always own the land, then who's on the hook for plowing all that snow in the winter? And who's responsible for fixing those frustrating potholes in the spring? Well, it turns out it doesn't really matter who owns the land. What truly matters is the road's official legal status, or its type. That's the thing that dictates whether the town has to take care of it. Okay, check this out. A road classified as a town way must be maintained by the town. Simple enough. But a public easement, now, even though the public can use it, the town only has to maintain it if they decide to. It's totally discretionary. And, of course, a private road gets zero public maintenance. So you could literally have two public roads sitting side by side, but the town is only legally required to plow one of them. Wild, right? Now let's zoom out from your local street and see how this whole system builds up to the massive national network of roads we all use. Because roads aren't static. Their responsibilities get passed around like a baton in a relay race. And, this isn't some new idea. As President Reagan pointed out way back in 1983, the health of our roads has always been seen as this incredibly critical national issue, something that's directly tied to the country's prosperity. The interstate system is the perfect example of this. The federal government helped get it built with a very generous 90-10 funding split. But, and this is the key part, from the very beginning, the states have always owned the roads. They're the ones responsible for keeping them in good shape. So what happens when a road needs to change hands, let's say from state control over to a local county? Well, it's not a simple handshake deal. It is a formal legal process with a very, very specific paper trail. It all kicks off with this document right here, a quitclaim deed. This is the official legal form that basically says the state is surrendering all its rights, its title, and its interest in that piece of road and handing it over to somebody else. From there, the deed goes on a little bureaucratic journey. This transmittal slip, for example, it shows the document moving through all these different offices, like the General Counsel, for legal reviews and approvals. Every I has to be dotted and T crossed. And it all culminates in this, the final signed agreement. Once those signatures are on the page, the baton is officially passed. The responsibility for that road now rests with a new agency. All of that paperwork just so you can have a smooth drive. So let's bring all this back home. Why does this complex web of legal interests, these different road types, and all these bureaucratic transfers, why does any of it actually matter to you on your daily commute? Well, the bottom line is this. The condition of the road you drive on every single day isn't just a matter of asphalt and heavy machinery. It is dictated by a completely invisible system of legal agreements, historical classifications, and official obligations. And that system is what determines who fixes that pothole or who plows that snow. It's a journey that takes a piece of land from being private property to a public right-of-way, and sometimes from one government's ledger to another. So the next time you hit a pothole, maybe you'll think about the incredible, invisible journey that road has been on. Thanks for watching.